And once we get lit up here, I will tell you why we're looking at these. And Cockscomb, I think we're getting live, y'all. Woohoo! And, oh, we are live, my flower friends. I see we have people coming in. So friends, welcome to the live gardening show. If this is your first time, my name is Lisa Mason Ziegler, and I'm actually the owner of the Gardener's Workshop. And I have been a commercial cut flower farmer for over the last 25 years, and I'm on a mission now. And that mission is to help other people, particularly people like me that thought they could never do it, to grow cut flowers, whether you want to do it for profit or for pleasure. And I do that by showing and demonstrating and sharing how I'm doing and what's going on. And then you have the opportunity to purchase the same tools, seeds, and supplies that I use. And of course, my resources. So tonight's show is all about Cockscomb. So why do we have daffodils sitting here? Well, I have to tell you what happened. So I do a YouTube show right before this show. And like 7 minutes before I was going live, I get a text from Stevie, my husband, and says, can you come to the back porch? He thought I was in our house. How long have I been going live on Wednesday night, y'all? Anyway, men just don't get it right. Anyway, sorry guys. So I ran out here to this door and stuck my head out and said, hey, I'm over here. And I saw that he had this incredible bouquet of daffodils. And he was in the golf cart, had driven around our property because we have so many different varieties of daffodils. All of them have a history. Steve's grandma. These were my grandma's down here on the bottom. This was the first bulb I ever bought. That's Ice Follies. Anyway, and this is so Steve Ziegler. Look at this. He's done it again, y'all. He just cuts the top off of a water bottle, fills it with water, and then goes around the property cutting flowers because he's married to a flower farmer. He knows that they need to be in water. So that's why I'm showing y'all these. They're so beautiful, and I just wanted you to be able to partake in them also. So they are pretty spectacular. And then goes around the property. Okay. So, I don't know why. Tonight is a night that it's not going to let me see the comments there. I'll have to look over here. So everybody, welcome tonight, and let's see where we are. So tonight, I'm going to be talking about Celosia coxcombs, my best growing tips and techniques, kind of the stuff of how I grow that amazing coxcomb. If you follow me on social, you would have seen today I posted several videos that have had millions of views. They're just so spectacular, okay? I'm going to show you how I start them. I do them in soil blocks. I'll demonstrate that, and we're going to sow some of those little tiny seeds, and you'll see how I do it. And y'all, I have a special announcement to make. Guess what's back in stock? I'll show you here shortly. And as always, I will do a little live Q&A at the end. So if you have questions, please post them in the comments. Just put @Lisa and type whatever your question is, and I will get to those at the very end. Now, friends, we absolutely love it when you share about our show. And you can do that down here at the bottom, that little box with an arrow in it. You can invite your friends, and we appreciate so much when you do that. And we have so many new people every single week, and we know it's because y'all are spreading the word. And so thank you so much for doing that. All right, so a little bit of housekeeping before we jump in for those new folks. Please, as you're checking out, when you place an order, double check your email address and your phone number, that they're accurate. We have to have those to create shipping tickets, tracking tickets for you. And there's frequently typos and different things going on there, so please double check that. And friends, if you just happened upon us on social media, I am so glad you're here. Maybe one of those reels that I posted today got you in here. What I want you to know is that we have a free phone app. And there's a lot of great reasons why you want to do it. This is what it looks like. And so all kinds of things. First off, there are special shipping rates that apply inside the app only. And that is if you place an order for seed packets only, we pay the shipping. Isn't that great? And then on product shipping, there's a cap of $11.95, meaning it doesn't matter if you buy one product or 10, you only pay $11.95. And we do ship to all 50 of the United States. But remember, this is a special offer inside our phone app only. It will not work over on our website. The other thing is inside the app, you can submit questions. I can't see your questions if you're on social media. And you can build favorites lists and watch replays. So there's just a lot of great fun. And there is a very lively conversation going on always inside the live app. So would love for you to be a part of that. So frequently during the live event, we sell out of items from time to time. If you go to an item and you go to put it in your cart and it says out of stock, get notified. You might want to get notified. Frequently, the team will actually be bringing over more stock from our big website if it's actually available, and that means you'll just get a little ding on your phone. And friends, I'm already seeing all those sunflower emojis. I love seeing those, and y'all know what that is? That is our TGW, the Gardener's Workshop, family, sending us love. Those are our online course students and members of my private Flower Farmer Club. And I love actually when y'all do that. It just makes us really feel seen, that you're there with us. So the first thing I want to start out with, I know I'm so bad about hitting the buttons. Let me get over here. So this is the time of the year where we're all clamoring at the bit, just really clamoring to get things going out in our garden. And I have some great resources for you. And the first one I want to highlight is my book, Vegetables Love Flowers. This is a great starting point for anybody that's just getting started growing a cutting garden. This is not about vegetables, y'all. It's about why vegetables love growing in the presence of flowers. And it includes like 10 cool season, 10 warm season. I mean, it's a really basic get started. Drop a little cutting garden in the midst of your vegetable patch and how it will benefit it so much. But this book is really about my philosophy on gardening, about not having to use pesticides and herbicides. And it also has some great illustrations in the back that'll help you to learn more about succession planting. This book also includes a free video book study. I interviewed Bob, our good friend, the photographer that did the photography on this, and my sister. I mean, just kind of like behind the scenes kind of stuff. So we love that, and this is a great way to get started. Isn't that just a great image? So that is Vegetables Love Flowers, and it's just a great way to get introduced to a cutting garden. And y'all, guess what is back in stock? And we weren't planning to launch it until Friday, but I told them that so many of y'all have been asking me about this. The spiral bound cut flower handbooks are back in stock. We finally got them, y'all. And so what's so different about this? So this is the book that I wrote, if you're new here. This is how it comes from the publisher. We have a vendor that literally rips the spine off. We ship the books from the publisher to this vendor. They rip the spine off and spiral bound it so you can actually lay the book completely flat. See, this is like a reference book. This isn't like a pleasure read book. I mean, you can pleasure read it too, but it's really helpful to have it lay completely flat. And you know what else I love to do? I love to do this. Turn it back on itself. So they are back in stock. And this book also comes with a bonus, and it is the PDF download that you can print of the 6 flowers we could not fit in the book. So there's a QR code on your bookmark that'll send you there, and the Cut Flower Handbook is includes 66 different flowers plus 6 that are on the PDF. And it tells you everything you need to know to get started, preparing your garden space, harvesting, then all the varieties. It has everything you need to get your cut flower garden going. And the spine, we still have the other versions with the spines. It's all about what makes you, what you like working with. We've had many people saying, I'm giving my original book to so-and-so for Christmas or whatever so that they can get this. So we love that we have it back in stock. And it's on restocking special for $42.46. And so that'll run through Sunday at 8 a.m. or until we run out. All right, friends. And try not to cut you off. There you go. All right. So now I want to talk about Cockscomb. So those are two great reference tools that you can have. So let's talk about Celosia, Cockscomb. First off, Celosia is a very large family of plants. There's Cockscomb, which is under that heading, and there's the plumes. We're talking about Cockscomb tonight. And it is a warm season tender annual. In fact, it thrives in heat and warm. So you definitely do not want to plant this early. You do not want to plant out into cool soil because it'll do all the things that people complain about. It'll bloom when it's 12 inches tall because you stressed it. You know, it's just never going to perform properly. So wait at least until 2 weeks after your last expected frost date to plant your transplants outside. And a little bit later would be even better. You can use it fresh or dried. We've done both. And Cockscomb played a huge role in our bouquet making programs. I mean, Cockscomb and sunflowers really floated our supermarket business for years. They're just such great, long-lasting, bright-colored flowers that were sturdy, and people just absolutely adored them. So I want to read you just a couple of lines from the Cut Flower Handbook. It's actually on page 181. It says, Cockscomb, Celosia cressida, that's the botanical name, landed its common name, cockscomb, because the bloom is very similar to the comb on a rooster's head. You know that thing up top? There are two different types of bloom shapes among the cockscomb varieties. There's the fan, which is the ones that are flat on the side and all the combs are up here on the top. And then there's the ball, which has combs all the way around. I mean, it literally looks like a ball. The fan blooms are flat on the side with the combs and ribs on top, and the seeds are where, the sides are where the seed develops. The ball bloom has more combs and ribs that tumble over the sides of the bloom and cover the developing seed area and grow into the shape of a ball. Especially if you're just learning about celosias, definitely recommend going with the balls at first. First off, they're branching, they're just easier, and they just produce such a beautiful bloom, right? So I was reading that from the Cut Flower Handbook. Now, I want to show you, what did I do with the cards? Some of the Cockscomb varieties, because I think people are very surprised by how many colors there are. We're going to start off by looking at one of the most useful colors. This is called gold. This is Chief Gold. Gold is a great color all throughout summer and great in the fall. So as early as we can get it. But see how that bloom is about the size of my fist. You don't want it any bigger than this. It's just not very useful. This is just a great color. We absolutely love it. And in the book, we show you the proper stage to harvest. And that's a key piece for people. So this, y'all, I have to keep looking. This is my favorite color, y'all. Orange, better known as persimmon. This is a dark, deep orange. This is so beautiful with hot pink, y'all, during the summer. It is so great. I love persimmon. Now this is the Chief Mix. This has all of the Chief colors. It's got the bicolor, which you'll see that in a minute closer, and the rose. This is like cotton candy color. There's persimmon that we just saw. Here is the orange, red, and this is the gold that we just saw. If you haven't grown it before, this is where I would start. This is definitely our most popular mix of Cockscomb. I love it. I mean, we grow it. We grow a ton of it. It's really great. Now, a lot of folks like growing Cockscomb to dry. This is Kramer's mix. And the Kramer's is a family in Pennsylvania, and they developed this seed for its drying qualities. It holds its color better. And it comes in a mix, and in here is burgundy, green, and rose. But you can also now buy those colors individually. I have a love-hate thing with this variety. First off, it is incredibly productive. That's why I love it. And it can get big, but it sets seed pretty early. It's really hard. You have to really stay on top of it to use it fresh, but it's a great dryer. So this is the mix, and then I'm going to bring the straight colors up. There is the green, I believe. That was Kramer's. Wait a minute here. I'm sorry, y'all. That was not... So that was the Kramer's Rose, solid color. And now I have just clicked on the Kramer's Lime Green, which is this. And it does create some really beautiful heads, right? And then there's the Kramer's Burgundy, which is this deep. This is the classic color that people think of when they think of Cockscomb. And it's a beauty, y'all. We used to sell gobs of this to Colonial Williamsburg. And then here is, I'm bringing up now the actual mix. And so again, if you're just starting out, mixes are always the place to start. See what the colors look like, see what you like, learn how to grow it a little bit. Kramer's responds, as does all the Chiefs and Kurumis, to pinching beautifully. So Kramer's can be used fresh, but it has made its name by being used actually dry. Now, Supercrest is a giant cockscomb. I mean, they grow like 5-6 feet tall. They have some really beautiful colors. Some of these muted shrimpy colors and green and oranges, and it's just huge. And this is a fan type, so that means the sides of the flowers show. So if you let them get seedy, you can't use them because it shows. They just look like dirty blooms. This is a fun one that I find that arrangers, people that do a lot of flower arranging, really love this. They love the uniqueness of it, right? And here is I can't say it's my favorite, y'all. I say everyone's my favorite, but this one is really great. I love it and grow a lot of it. This is the Kurumi or the Chief Rose. This is the color of cotton candy, y'all. Every summer bouquet could have this in it. This with the orange zinnias, pink plumes. It is so very beautiful. We just never seem to have enough of the rose. Then this one is the most productive cockscomb that I've ever grown. This is Chief or Kurumi. Chief and Kurumi are basically the same variety, and they get interchanged a lot. It depends on which one's available when we're buying, but they both are the same, and this is the orange red. And y'all, look at the size of those heads. And I'm telling you, they pump out stems like nobody's tomorrow. This was a major player in our bouquet program. Now, this is a really fun one, and this was in the mix. This is, they call it Corona. Some people call it the bicolor. It's the gold with red ribbons in it. I mean, running through it, it's really pretty. People love it. They're mesmerized. I mean, first off, cockscomb, just people love it. And when you start mixing colors up, they really love it. So this is a really fun one to grow. And again, it's in the mix. So if you're just learning about it, I would grow the mix and try all the colors out. Look at this one. This is Higyoku, and this is called red stem. The red stem means it has red foliage and the stem is red, and that is a scarlet bloom on top. This is a bed that wasn't quite ready yet. It was a beautiful, beautiful bed. And so this is a great one for fall production, right? That darker colored foliage really can lay some fall feel to it. And y'all, that card's missing. So Higgy green stem is what is up right now. It's that same bloom, but it's got green foliage. I'm sorry, y'all. Suzanne did tell me that we were missing a couple of cards. That's why I'm kind of fumbling up here. So the green stem is what is up, and that is the scarlet top with green foliage. Now, this one that I just clicked is the red stem. So they have a great habit, and we love them. They're just a great red, and the red stem is so great for fall production. Sorry about that mix-up, y'all. All right, now here's a beauty. Are y'all ready? This is Jura Salmon. This is the one that we had this seed custom grown for. It's a flower farmer in the Midwest, Jamie Rhodes, saved this seed and then sold it to flower farmers like me and lots of other people. And then we were able to get it custom grown. This is a wonderful color. It is so soft. It is so beautiful. Just really love it. It's a brancher. All of these so far are branchers, okay? Then this one is Queen Improved. And so it is a I don't know if you saw today, this is definitely more salmon-y. This is a lighter orange color. When they're side by side, they're really different. I grow all of them, of course, because they're orangey. But this habit on this queen, I absolutely love it. She's very productive, and it's just a really nice cockscomb. And you know, when you grow as much cockscomb as we did, because it was in our top 10, I mean, we used them in everything. Florists wanted them, supermarkets wanted them. We used them in our bouquets, so we had a lot of demand. Started growing this one about 3 or 4 years ago. This is a fan type, but it does branch. It's called Crystal Beauty, and it's that color that is just so popular, that kind of muted kind of color. It's really pretty. And it is a strong brancher. It is very productive. It does not get super big heads, but it is great for bouquet work. We love it because of the color, right? So all of those were branching varieties, meaning you can pinch them and they produce multiple stems from one seed. Now we're about to look at some single stem. That means one seed gives you one stem with one flower on top. And y'all, this is Act Green. This is such a beautiful bloom. It goes with everything. You could sell as many, if you have customers and you're selling, you can sell as many of these as you can grow, but you only get one bloom. And so this is Act, and then I'm going to show you Spring Green. I'm going to bring it up. Spring Green looks, why would you grow both of these? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Spring Green, this one, is 10 to 14 days earlier to bloom than the Act is. You can start both of them at the same time, but yet you have just staggered your bloom time. And again, it's only one bloom, so when you cut it, there is nothing else, right? These were really helpful. We never use these in mixed bouquets. They're too costly. It's an expensive seed. This is what we sold to florists and designers. And just love it. And if you're a flower arranger, you would actually love to grow this. And then this, let me go back up. This is also a single stemmer. This is called Asuka. And look how the ribs are cut. It's almost like it's fuzzy, right? The colors in this, and there is a green in there. This is the mix. The colors in here are spectacular, and it just looks so different. So it's a single stemmer also. And so let me just tell you about single stems. I plant 8 rows, and all this is in the book, 8 rows across a 30-inch bed and then 6 inches apart, because they're not gonna branch out, y'all. The tighter you plant them, the taller they grow, right? So that is all of the varieties. And then I want to show you how we actually start them. Now, keep in mind that the branching cockscomb can be pinched, but you would never pinch the single stem, right? So that's why it's important that you know this, right? So I want to show you how to start seeds. We're going to, Bobo, all next week, Bobo's hitting the ground running on starting celosias. All right, so celosia loves soil blocking. You know, soil blocking does not disturb the roots like growing in a pot and then you have to pull them all apart. So soil blocking does really, really well with celosias. And if you're new here, soil blocking is a method of, I'm trying to turn my camera a little bit, y'all, without turning you off, or I better not do it. Okay, soil blocking is a method of seed starting. This is a tool we import from England. I have my celosia seeds that we're gonna plant together. And this is the way that the Dutch and the English have done it for decades. And I started soil blocking 30 years ago and just never looked back. So this is blocking mix and it's very moist. We have the recipe is on our website. We sell the ready-made mix, but we also give you the recipe. It's up to you what you want to do. It's very wet. We give you that ratio. This is the soil blocker that we import from England. You hold the stationary bar and you push it down into the mix. And I use a potato masher to mix my soil and water and then to strike off the bottom. What really made this an option for me was because I have no greenhouses. I still don't have any greenhouses. I do everything. Back then, I was doing everything in my kitchen and in my pantry and my basement. And soil blocking just made it all possible. And I tweaked it into a tabletop method. We use flat bottom trays with no drainage holes. And you lay your tool on your tray and you squeeze it, and y'all, just that fast, we just made 20 little containers, literally. And for celosia, I plant one seed in each block and they grow up in this block, and that block is what's planted out in the garden. It is so streamlined over other methods. I want to show you, what did I do with my, I have some oh, here they are. I have some seedlings I wanted to show you. I'm not sure if we started these together last week. These are my big beef tomatoes that we started the 4th. That was last week. And so this is 20 blocks on this tray. Now, I do bump tomatoes up, but I only do that with one flower, and that's eucalyptus. All the rest of them, just like celosia, I just plant that seed in there and they grow up in here. Look at this. This is 60 straw flowers on this tray, growing in those 3/4 inch blocks. Y'all, it is a phenomenal way to start seeds. So let's sow some seeds together. I'll show you exactly how I do it. So let's get our little box here and get you down here with a good eye view. So there's our tray. Now we use a toothpick with a little saliva, and I use this seed pan because it's aluminum. When there's aluminum, there's no static electricity. And literally, when you put a little saliva on your toothpick and touch it to the seed, it literally hops right on. I don't know if you can see that little seed on the very end. And I firmly seed it on the surface of the block because our seed packet tells us, do not cover seeds with soil, right? That's pretty clear. But the seed needs to make good contact with the soil so it can get moisture and take advantage of the warmth of the soil that you're going to heat up here. And I just firmly place it right there on the surface. And you will not believe just how quick you can go when you are not fighting static electricity. And this is like cross stitching, y'all. You could just do it, keep on, you know what I mean? It's kind of a little obsessiveness. And that's how I do it, literally. So let's talk about the rest of the story. What do you do with this tray then, right? All right, so let's get rid of this. You know, I never have enough room, right? That is definitely. All right, so let's see. Now, surface sown, I told you that. Firmly seed the seeds. And you know, there's several ways you can buy You can just buy a soil blocker if you want. They're $39.95, you know, if that's what you're looking for. But a great way to get started is with the Soil Block Maker Kit. And so this kit has everything in it you need to get started soil blocking. That means it has the blocker, makes 20 of those 3/4 inch blocks. The kit comes with your choice of either 3 warm season seeds, including the Chief mix is in that one, or 3 cool season seeds. You make that selection when you go to checkout. It also includes my seed starting made easy online course that you own for life. It's unlimited access. In here, there are sessions on starting the seeds, growing them up inside, hardening them off, getting them out in the garden, and there's even a session in there on direct seeding out in the garden. The kit comes with a bag of our ready-made mix. It's just in a different package now, y'all. This bag makes 600 of those little blocks, y'all. Pretty amazing. And then it also comes with 5 of our large trays that hold 3 sets of 20, seed pan for you, toothpicks, and the little plant markers that I actually use for tools to mess around with my soil blocks. So you get, and of course I haven't even clicked on the soil blocker. Wait a minute, y'all. I gotta get back because I had to go back to the top. Stand by. There we are. So now I'm on the Soil Block Maker Kit. You get all of these pieces to get started soil blocking, and it is $89.99, and that is like 19% off of buying all these pieces separately. So there's a pretty big savings going there for that. And you select warm or cool season seeds when you're actually in the checkout. So that is the Soil Block Maker Kit. All right, let's look at some of this other stuff that just helps to make this all so successful. All right, so one of the things that I love to have is multi-size trays because I want to select the size tray that fits the number of blocks you're starting. This one is the mini, we call it. These are reusable foam, y'all. We do not throw them away. We use them literally for years. So this will hold 1 set of 20. This one will hold 2 sets of 20. They're all in 5 packs, and there's actually 25 packs available. I mean, the mini's like $1.95. This one's $3.95. And then this one is the size that comes in the kit that holds 3 sets of 20, and that's $3.95. But they're all available in larger sizes. You always want to select the size tray for the number of blocks. You never mix varieties on a tray. Because to make the most use out of like your heat mat and your grow light space, you don't want to have blank space on trays is what I'm getting at. So all of those are really helpful, and I have all of those. Plus I have big plastic grower size trays, the same thing, so many different sizes. All right, so let me click on that. Gosh, y'all, I'm the worst. All right, I just clicked on the trays. And you know, y'all, I had to turn the air conditioner on in here tonight. We haven't had, I mean, it's going down to 29 tomorrow. It was like 74 degrees outside. So I'm a little bit overheated, maybe? Maybe not. Anyway, all right, so I brought the trays up. Now, the next step, you know, those surface sown seeds, right? We worry about them getting dried out. I use what we call wide weave burlap. It retains moisture, but it allows air circulation. And literally, you just lay it on top of your tray. It comes in a big size. And this is like 3 by 3, and you can cut it. Some people cut it to fit their size trays. I keep my piece big and just lay it across the table. So it's whatever works for you. But I find that it is incredibly helpful for retaining moisture on the surface of my blocks, particularly when you have surface sown seeds. So that is the wide weed burlap, and it is really important for those surface sown guys, right? All right, so let me see where we are here. I'm trying to follow the rules, y'all. Now, What is super important always, but it is major needed for warm season tender annuals, and celosia is at the top of the list, and that is a seedling heat mat. Most warm season seeds germinate best at 75 to 85 degrees. And if you're thinking, oh, my house is 70, well, that's air temperature. We're talking soil temperature. Most soil temperatures, masses of anything, water or soil, is 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air temperature. So if your house is 70, that means your soil is 50 to 55 degrees, which explains why seeds won't sprout. The seedling heat mat has a built-in thermostat that, guess what, warms it up 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the air temperature. This is a key piece of success for getting your seeds to germinate quicker, more uniform, and to just get growing and sprout a really healthy root system. This is $40.95, and it's just a must-have for Cockscomb. I mean, any of the celosias, for sure. Now, the next piece of really, I guess, piece of the puzzle, right, is the grow light, which is right behind me here. I'm trying to get it up. So this is a really simple grow light, which is what most people need, y'all. This is a 24-inch by about 8 inches. I'm just going to lift it up without creaming my plants. It has a very small footprint. That's only about 8 inches across, but it'll hold 4 of any of those trays we just looked at. I just creamed a seedling. Sorry, buddy. It will hold a 40 count as well as even a 60 count. So within a 24-inch by, I'd say, 11 inches, 12 inches wide, you can support literally 240 plants. That's pretty amazing. You know, because when you're starting seeds, it's different than trying to grow plants inside for them to bloom like African violets or something. You're just trying to keep the plants healthy and happy. Providing 16 to 18 hours of light is what keeps them healthy and stocky. And here's another thing about celosia. Because I start my seedlings under grow lights instead of in a greenhouse, which is relying on natural light, that's one of the reasons we get such great out-of-the-gate blooming. Celosia doesn't like really short days. When I say short days, I mean short hours of light, because we start them off at 16 hours a day of grow light. So when we plant them outside in the garden, which is mid-April, late April, the days have begun to get longer. And that's why we get such great performance. The high summer season is when you get the very best celosia. And then as the season starts to the days start to get shorter again as we go in fall, that's when you're going to recognize they grow shorter because they don't have as much growing time, and they develop seed actually earlier. But growing them under a grow light for 16 hours makes a huge difference in the first crop that you get. All right, so the grow light is $81.95. If I didn't say that, I mean, I don't know if anybody's gone to the nursery lately. I did it last year. I went to get for my containers. I just could not actually believe. I spent over $100, and I felt like I got like one little cardboard box of plants. I understand why they cost, but I'm just saying it's really fun and economical, actually, if you actually follow through and start your own seeds. Now, I had to go steal this back out of my house because I love this thing so much, y'all. That is the espresso watering can. This is stainless steel, holds 2 cups of water. Look how cute it is. I've started having a couple little house plants, and this is perfect for watering house plants, but it's also perfect for watering soil blocks. You pour in the side of the tray, up against the side of the tray, not onto the blocks. And when you use the your soil is dry in the morning, you go out there, you water them, and you want them to dry out overnight, right? I'm just trying to read what Susie, who produces these shows, is also in on our customer service. She hears the questions coming in from people. So a lot of times these shows are based on what they're hearing questions about today. So your seedlings should get watered in the morning, they're wet during the day, and as the evening comes on, they're starting to dry out, they're dry overnight, and guess what happens overnight when the light's off? The roots get oxygen, and that's key. This little watering can with its gentle pour spout makes for a perfect soil block waterer. But also, you know what we love to do with this? We put flowers in it quite often. It's a perfect little vase. So this is $34.95, and this also is a great Mother's Day or even Easter gift. So the espresso watering can is just really cool. And let's see where we are here. Now, celosias are really appreciate food. So you definitely want to use your Neptune's seaweed fish liquid fertilizer. I mix this in my watering can on Mondays. It's 1 tablespoon to a gallon of water. It's kind of stinky, but it does an amazing job. We love it, and you can use it as a soil drench. You can use it as a foliar feeding. So we've used this for a couple of decades and love it for a lot of different reasons. But if you are starting inside your home and the smell, you know, your family wants you to move out, and we have a new fertilizer that we have brought on board that smells like spearmint, but it is still organic. That is poop, y'all. I don't know if anybody has tried it yet. This is fish poop along with some other ingredients, but it smells like peppermint, really smells like peppermint. And it does a great job. You can use it you can use it every day, or you can do it once a week. So this is the Foop garden. You can use this in the garden as well as for your seedlings. All right, let's see where we are. So that soil, y'all, is making my nose itch. I tried to be careful, didn't work. All right, let's see where we are. So we're gonna surface sow them. We're gonna put them on a seedling heat mat. We're gonna burlap them to trap moisture. We're gonna use Neptune or Foops for their food. And then when you go to put them out in the garden, what we actually use is our turkey litter compost-based fertilizer. This is the Sustain. Love this stuff. It's got bone meal and feather meal in it. This bag will do a 250 square foot spot. That's 10 by 25. And there's bigger bags over on our website if you need it. Just follow the directions. That's what we do. This is the only thing we add to our soil without a soil test telling us to. Celosia really loves nutrition, so this is a great way to actually start that. Now, the rest of the story is we plant celosia into a bed that has been prepared with the dry organic fertilizer, and then we cover it with the biodegradable film. And usually, if it's already warm outside, we make the bed with the light color side up so we don't overheat our seedlings. This is so easy to plant through, y'all. Look, it's not like landscape fabric. It's totally compostable, biodegradable. You can put mulch or something on top of it if you want to, but your plants will quickly cover it. It comes in 48 inches wide, multiple different lengths. There's a learning curve to learn how to put it down. We have videos on our products, and it's worth learning, y'all. This is what allowed me to scale my flower farm because we suppressed so many annual weed seeds using it. So find this. I didn't click on it. Yes, I did. Yay. So there's multiple sizes, and you can buy multi-packs. And so biodegradable film is for a cutting garden is just such a great help on weed control. This is what I dropped earlier. All right, so I told you about that. Let's see where I am. I'm not following my notes very well, y'all. Showed you earlier those pictures. The heads of Cockscomb are big. They're heavy. All it takes is one rain to just lay those big, gorgeous stems down in the garden, and that is the saddest thing that can ever happen. So you definitely have to use flower support netting. This is plastic, 6-inch squares. We suspend it above our beds using garden stakes. And we have instructions, and there's videos on the product showing you how. And the plants grow up through it, and it keeps them from laying down in rain when you install it properly and before they get tall. You install this at the halfway mark. So you need to get it on before they reach that half, like 24 inches. So it comes in multiple lengths. It's 36 inches wide. It's super easy to cut with a pair of scissors. And it's just a must-have for Cockscomb. I mean, so here's what my thought is, because I'm getting ready to net all of our cool flowers next week. I mean, we already have cool flowers on the verge, right? So I think of flower support netting just like I do seat belts and insurance. You hope you never have to use them. But if you have got to use, it's just in case. And so flower support netting, it's really sad after all your hard work to have one rainstorm just lay your garden down. And there is no coming back from that, y'all. Talking from firsthand experience. All right, so that's flower support netting. And then what do I use to cut with? I mean, love our shears and pouch, y'all. And so this pouch, why I love this thing is that, oh, gosh, y'all, I'm such a bad girl tonight. So I just clicked on the flower support netting. So that's going to be, I don't know if you know this tonight, but the shop button at the bottom of the screen, if you're in the app, all the products that I talked about are right there. So if, you missed something or want to shop what was in the show, that's where you can actually do that. So the pouch and shear set, which they're available separately also, this pouch has a clip, y'all, to go on your belt. You don't have, or on your pocket. You don't have to have a belt to go through a loop. Love this. It'll fit a lot of different shears, but this is the shear that we have used probably for 2 decades now. It's lightweight, easy in my hand to use, fits perfectly in that pouch. When you have a pouch on your hip, you never lay your clippers down. That's what the moral of that story is. So the set is $58.81, and that's probably about a 5% savings over buying these separately. And it's what we use to harvest our cockscomb. And let's talk about harvesting cockscomb. Remember how I mentioned short day troubles? Well, as you move into fall with celosia, it's going to start blooming on shorter stems because the days are shorter, and it will also begin to make seed earlier. So you have to change your harvest habit when that starts to happen. It's just got really speedy seed head development, and you do not ever want to use a head of cockscomb or any celosia that has seed developing. It will drop all over your people's tabletops. They will never come back. I've talked to these people, y'all. I mean, it really freaks people out. They think it's mouse poop everywhere on their table. Just imagine that. And so in the book, it shows you make the first cut of that central stem almost at the base, right above 3 or 4 shoots. And then the future stems, you just cut at the base of the stem. And that just keeps them producing more and more long stems. But I'm telling you, you have to learn the stage to harvest. It's better to go too early than too late. And the lighter colors really educate you faster because you can see them really quickly. Now, celosia is also amongst the dirty dozen. Those are those cut flowers that pollute the water more than other flowers do. And so these are the CVBN chlorine tablets. We put one of these in every one of our harvest buckets. It stops and kills bacteria and delays it from happening. When flowers dump stuff into the water when the stem hits, bacteria instantly starts. A great example of that is our daffodils. Because you know how they run oozy stuff? Well, a lot of flowers do that. We just don't see it. It's not as obvious as it is with these guys. So the CVBN tablet is a big key player in getting you more days of vase life because you prevent and delay that bacteria from actually developing. And it comes in an 80 count bottle, which you can get 1 or 2, or you can buy the 800 count, which is a real savings, y'all. So where am I here? And so this is a key piece of all of our harvest, but particularly on celosia, if you want it to last as long. And then if you follow me on social, you saw some of those cockscomb videos that I posted today. And you see that I'm wearing these gloves. I live in these gloves, y'all. These are the Atlas lightweight gloves. This is a medium. You want it to fit with no excessive fabric. It comes from extra small to large. They're assorted colors. You can buy one for $8.95 or a bargain, y'all, a 4-pack for $31.95. This is one of the best gardener, anybody that owns a yard gift, Easter basket, live in these gloves. I mean, we never have enough of them here. They don't wear, if you never come through the end of fingers, what wears out about them is we strip so many flowers constantly out in the field and in here that it wears them slick after a season. But you just won't believe it. $8.95 for a pair of gloves that will, if you don't lose them, will last you the whole season. So check out the lightweight gloves. We absolutely, and you could check them out if I clicked the item. Y'all, I'm the worst. All right, friends, so I just clicked on that. You can choose what you want, and now let's see where we are. It's time to wrap up, so in just a minute, I will be doing our Q&A, so if you have a question, just put in the comments @Lisa and whatever your question is. I'll do my best to answer them. And remember that those special shipping rates are only available inside the app. That is a special offer inside our app. It's not available on our website. It will not work over there. And when you're speaking of our website, we have so many free resources over there for y'all. We have videos, blogs, our podcast. Seed Talk is one of the podcasts. Episode number 92 is Common Cockscomb Questions. That's Lisa and Lane. Everybody loves that one. And then Field and Garden is the podcast that I host. And episode number 144 is the 411 on Celosia. That's pretty funny. So friends, remember, you can learn more from us. I do Ask a Flower Farmer. The Gardener's Workshop hosts that on Instagram, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Remember that we do our big shopping show on Fridays, 12 noon. It's always a lot of fun. And remember to meet me here next Wednesday. But be sure your notifications are turned on inside your phone app, because I do pop-up shops. That just means it's an unscheduled show. And if you want to get notified of that, that's the only way you are going to know about that. So friends, I hope you're going to grow some cockscomb this season. It is such a fun flower to grow. Our seeds, Susie will be bringing all of our seeds from the warehouse this Friday. Because remember, I start from the same seeds that you're buying, right? And I know you won't be disappointed. So stick around if you want the live Q&A, but if you're leaving, heading out, thank you so much for joining me. I loved having you here, and please tell a friend. And friends, if y'all are enjoying our phone app, our shop app, please go to your phone's app store and review it. All you have to do is say, I love it. That just tells other people that it's okay to download it, right? There's so much crazy stuff out there now. So that would help us so much. So I ask that all of y'all just drop into your phone app and review the shop app where you're watching me in right now. All right. All right, so I'm going back. I'm going to look for our questions. All right, hey, everybody. So, Laura, the YouTube show I do is actually this same subject. We just know that YouTube viewers are different than, they're not on, sometimes many of them are not on other social outlets or like in the app. So it's the same show, of course, but you know I never say the same thing twice. So it's a rerun, but not really. So that's what it is. All right, thank y'all for all the sunflower emojis. Hello, everybody. Oh, thanks, Kim. She's loving the notification. Gina says, I am a total Gardener's Workshop follower. Love your products, best seeds. Thank y'all. That's so nice. All right, I want to be Lisa when I grow up. Oh, my goodness, friends. What can we do to hold or prevent yellowing and leaf curling of larger 3-inch seedlings? Frequently, when you're having yellowing happening and curling leaves, there's definitely stress. Maybe it's time for them to be planted. Like this, that's what's happening. You know, these straw flowers are heading to Compostville. All of their brothers and sisters have been planted now for 4 weeks probably. But see how it's starting to happen down here? There's just not enough room. They've outgrown their space, right? But look how beautiful they still look. But usually that's what it is. If they're 3 inches, maybe lack of nutrition, overwatering, and no elbow room are the things that I think of. I have set out some cool season hardy annual seedlings, and they have been out about a week. Temperatures are supposed to drop down to 28. Safe temperatures for everything I put out, but I know they aren't established. What would you do in this instance? So you're dead on that not being established is the vulnerable point. And so I would definitely hoop and row cover them, which we do instantly. We hoop and row cover our very early spring planting, at least for a week or two while they're getting their roots in, mainly to keep the squirrels and the rabbits from getting in there and rooting around. But yes, I would definitely provide, 28's not that bad, but you're right. They don't have a root to stand on yet. They just got planted, right? So I'd give them a little covering. Oh, y'all must be responding to the spiral bound. Y'all, it's quite an expensive adventure to do that for us. But we love it so much that we just want to keep investing and doing it. We just love it. Kim, my cool flowers, snaps, amobium, and bachelor buttons have started blooming. Kim, good. Ours are on the verge. You know what's getting ready to pop here is, I think it's agrostemma. I had to stop and think. All right. Do you have, let's see. Hello, Wanda at -30. Wanda is our Alaskan peony grower, and she always chills us all down by telling us what her temperature is. 74 here and she's at -30. We're 100 degrees different, Wanda. Oh, thanks, Cynthia. I'll be sure. Cynthia says, hats off to your stellar customer service team. So appreciate their prompt response and help. I will tell Lynn and Susie that. Susie is Lynn's backup when Lynn gets too much going on or she's not there. And so I will tell them, we thank you so much. We really want to have excellent instructions. Y'all, we were trying to put something together in my house yesterday. It was my cabinet man and my carpenter. And the instructions were so horrible, none of us could figure it out. It's like, it just reminded me why we want great. It's obvious the person that wrote the instructions has never done it, is what the problem was. We want to provide excellent instruction and great customer service because we want to stand out, and we thank y'all for recognizing that. Thea, got my email this afternoon, so make sure to ask to be notified when an item is out of stock. So yeah, that's the thing. So things like the spiral bound, something that we will not probably just constantly stock it. It's quite an ordeal. So if it's out of stock, get notified, and then you just get a little reminder when it's done. I've taken row covers off 1 to 2 days, supposedly. So this is the time of the year that our covers are down, but I don't take them out of the garden. We're going to be 29 next week, which normally wouldn't be a problem, but I have stuff with buds on it, and they'll probably be fine, but why wouldn't I cover them? I have the covers. They're right out there, right? One for the house and one for the garden. Oh, thank you. I gave a little talk to local gardeners and referred your book to everyone. Thank you. Your Jura salmon's beautiful. So Sarah, when we ran out before Christmas, we did say that it would be months to restock it because it was 3 months, because when we went to reorder, the publisher had sold out of my book, and it takes them 90 days to get a book from the day that they order it, get another shipment. So yeah, it was 90 days. How do I find the phone app? Well, if Ellen, you're in the phone app, because I can see you, but you can go to your phone's app store and search Gardener's Workshop, and it'll pop up, and you already have it, but you could review it if you're enjoying it. We would love that. Got seeds from you all. My seeds come from you. That gold is so beautiful. I agree. I love the gold. Y'all are so helpful. Lisa, I have all my cool season seedlings in my raised beds, and it's supposed to get down to 20 degrees this weekend. Is one row cover enough, or do I need more? So, depends if they're established. You don't say when you planted them. If they're well settled in, row covering them would be really helpful. If they're not established, a double row cover would definitely be helpful. Lisa, the red one isn't in the app yet. Oh, really? Should be. You mean the red stem. So it was because I hadn't hit the buttons right, I think. Oh, you see it now. All right. Do you pinch this type of celosia? We only pinch the branching varieties. The only three you don't pinch is spring green, act, and asuka. Lisa, all of your cockscomb I grew. People love them in bouquets. Even florists wanted some. I didn't share since she loves to undercut me. Everyone loved the cockscomb, and they say they can't find it. You are my dirty little secret. It is true that people are not aware of all the different colors of cockscomb. I think it's another great secret that's been kept. Lisa, is it an issue when the bottom of the soil block is a mat of roots? Nope. I have to tear them apart to plant, and they're usually sad for a few days. You know, the goal is to actually, let's see what these look like. So, you know, these are all cool season hardy annuals that are past their prime. That's why they look a little yellow. But let's look at the bottom. And this one's not bad. This is didiscus. That's not bad at all, right? But look at this one. Bet this one's got a lot. Look at that mat. You just don't want that to happen. I mean, it's a real tangled mess. And you would just break them apart and plant them. They'd be fine. But you're looking to get them in the ground before they really get a mass of roots underneath there. What you're kind of looking for is something like that. That's what you're shooting for. Okay. The tray of straw flower seedlings you just showed us, when will you plant them? Mine are about the same size. Amy, those are our leftovers. We actually planted them mid-February, so almost a month ago. And those are going to Compostville. So yeah, they're a little big. They're still beautiful though, right? Oh, thank y'all for all your kind words. My very early spring babies are still under row cover. Is one layer enough for 20s we're getting this week? I mean, if they're established, yes. You know, but if you can double cover, what is that gonna hurt, right? Because when they're not established, they're just much, much more vulnerable. And y'all, you know, the biggest thing you can do, I mean, I asked you to review the app, to review all y'all talking about how beautiful the seeds are. I mean, oh my gosh, that helps other people that go to our products. You can't review products here in the app. They don't offer that, but you can go to our website, and we would love that so much. You just don't, I never understood what reviews do to a business. When you get reviews, like every 25 reviews you get, the search engines show you to more people. It like bumps you up the ladder, and there's no other way to get bumped other than reviews. So reviews are incredibly important. Can you please put up the seed tray with toothpicks so we can add it? So that is, they didn't add that to the show, just the seed, but it is in the app. If you search pan or toothpick in the app, I'm sure it'll bring it up. My temperatures are all over the place. Can you explain the temps you cover and uncover your newly planted seedlings? So in general, so cool season hardy annuals, when they're first planted in very early spring, we cover them for about 10 to 14 days just to help them get rooted in and not be disturbed by varmints, right? But my up and down for row covers is we put them down when it goes above 50 or 55 degrees because we don't want to overheat them. And I put them up mainly during winter. This time of the year, it has to go down really. We were contemplating, it's going down to 29 here. It's like, do we put the covers back up? It's iffy. We'll see how windy it is. Cold wind just whips, right? Nobody likes standing in cold wind. So covers down at 50 degrees and above, covers up on the hoops when you're going below 30 as a general rule. Lisa, please remind me if there is a list of Dirty Dozen in your books. Yes, you are not a mess. It has to be a lot to run the show. Thank you, Amber. Amber, it's on our website. It's on the CVBN product page at the bottom, probably in the information. Lisa, where can I access a list of the Dirty Dozen? They're on the CVBN pages and they're in the Cut Flower Handbook. I may have missed this. Do you fertilize your soil blocks indoors weekly once germinated? Yes, I do. Lisa, do you use calcium nitrate on any of your seeds, and which ones if you do? I do not. Patrick, what happens when you become a production flower farmer, as I did? There's never enough people to do the tasks that you have to do. Seed start, planting, weeding, netting, cutting, monitoring, harvesting, bunching, selling. You know what I mean? No, we have never done anything beyond what you see that I talk about. That's all that I do. Honestly, that's all that I do. Lisa, how do you store leftover seed from when you have been soil blocking? Was unsure if it would get moldy in a closed bin. You never store it in a closed bin wet. I mean, even in a plastic bag, leaving it open, you want it to dry out, then you just re-wet it when the time comes. Okay, so you never store it in a closed container. It just dries out. I jumped over some questions. Sorry here, y'all. Here we go. When you harvest the coxcombs, do you have any tips when it comes to hitchhikers, bugs? Yeah, you have to be really careful because there's usually a lot of bees if you cut at the wrong time of day. If you cut really early in the morning, there's usually sleeping native bees on them. And so for us, it's like 10 to 1 is my real window because they're active at that time. They're not sleeping inside. But for any insect on flowers, I cut them. I usually, if there's an insect issue, and I'm talking about flying insects, you're not going to get aphids. You have to address that stuff otherwise. But when I'm walking to the buckets, I just hold the stems down by my side and gently swat my legs to kind of say, hey guys, get the heck off my flowers, literally. And with coxcomb, you can have lots of native bees sleeping inside of them. It's depending on what time of day. Oh, there you go. Debbie's telling you exactly what I just told you. I'm planting your sunflower seeds while I'm watching you. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Ann. You all ate excellent all the way around. Thank you so much, y'all. How do you store leftover soil? I just addressed that. No, I don't use calcium. And I think my basement temperature is 64 degrees. I have seed mats. Is it too cold to start warm season seeds down there? Yes. Because if you want, the air temperature for cool season seeds is 65 to 70. 64, you won't get any top growth. Warm season seeds, air temperature should be 75 to 85 if you want good growth. So yes, it is definitely too cold. My seedlings seem stalled with no true leaves yet. 1 to 2 weeks since germinating. Should I start fertilizing now? You can. Most often when seedlings stall, it's either too cool, overwatering, or low light. And so warm it up. Make sure your soil is drying out between daily waterings. A bumped up air temperature will do that for you. And most likely it is too late to start snaps because they're a cool season hardy annual. Depends on what, it's all depends on your your first and last frost dates. And friends, the Cut Flower Handbook and my big calendar journal, which is nothing but my big seed starting and planting guide, and hey, you have a place to write it. Those two resources, the calendars in the app as well as my book, those two resources, and just spend 3 hours a week for 3 weeks and read the book and study the guide that's on the calendar, and you will figure out you create your own custom growing plan. It's pretty amazing. All right, my friends, I am gonna leave you now. Apparently my dinner was not going as planned inside, so we may be having cereal for dinner tonight. It was a long day. I do 4 lives on Wednesdays or long days. So I'm gonna go in there and see what Steve has rustled up for dinner. Thank you for joining me. Remember to tell a friend, and just remember your reviews, the comments that y'all put in here, we would absolutely love to have you put on the products over on our website if you're enjoying them. So friends, until we meet again, see you Friday for the big show at noon. It's gonna be St. Patrick's Day. We're gonna be green, green, and green, and all kinds of fun here. All right, my friends, and Suzanne will be doing the studio bouquet, the bouquet studio. So friends, till we meet again, ciao.